Shock Monkey Radio is created by adults for entertainment purposes. The views and opinions expressed here do not reflect the sponsors or FXPG Public Radio. For additional information, refer to the U.S. Bill of Rights. Stand warned. All right, so let's get into the news worth knowing. Might go through this kind of quickly. I want to end at 7 no matter what. So, all right, let's go to this first news story. It's the headline doesn't have a whole lot to do with what I want to say about it, but the headline is Trump deploying high-risk strategy by leaving hospital so early, Rollins says. Excuse me. President Trump is deploying a high-risk strategy by leaving Walter Reed Hospital early with coronavirus ahead of November 3rd, according to Republican strategist Ed Rollins. The president's plan in the month before Election Day includes convincing voters that he is well enough to continue on as normal despite his diagnosis and DISUCSS. Fox News. This is where everyone get the articles from. All my articles I get from Fox News. Fox News. A simple spell check would have found that one. DISUCSS. Simple spell check. Anyway, let's start at the beginning of the sentence. The president's plan in the month before Election Day includes convincing voters that he is well enough to continue on as normal despite his diagnosis and discuss the virus in a new light from the perspective of someone who's had it, strategists and advisors told the New York Times. Quote, there's a high-risk strategy here, and I hope the president doesn't rush back into the campaign mode, which he wants to do before he gets well until they tell him he is no longer a danger to everybody else. Rollins told the outlet. All right, so here's the summary, because a lot has happened over the weekend since Thursday during my last show. And so a lot has happened in the sense that Trump caught COVID. He went to the hospital, went to Walter Reed, and he was treated, and there was all sorts of hubbub and fuss over the weekend, speculating upon his health and what's going to happen. And and people on Twitter saying, I hope he dies, like assholes. All right. I don't care. Nancy Pelosi could get COVID, and I wouldn't say I hope she dies. You know, I think she's a horrible person and probably in league with the devil, but I don't think that she should get COVID and die at all. All right. Let her live her life and face her judgment. All right. It's not up to me to judge her here on earth. That's the best thing about not being God. But my point is like everyone is all of Twitter, over this Trump getting diagnosed with COVID, and he's sick, he should stay in the hospital forever. And I'm just like, you know what? And Trump even comes out of the hospital saying, don't let this fear rule your life. Don't let this thing like rule our lives. All right? And just like my bank teller, you know what? You don't need to be that panicky about it. All right? Yeah. If you're in a high-risk group, you should be a little bit worried. But the fatality rate of this is so damn low, it really doesn't matter. Yes, every death matters, of course, but it's not worth shutting down our economy for. And you know what? You know what the real truth of the matter is our economy hasn't shut down. We've all been working. You've been working, right, EK? Yeah. Everyone knows that the economy isn't shut down. Everything is open in some way or shape or form. All right? The economy hasn't grind to a halt. You think that it's like everyone said, we got to have these shutdowns. We have to have all these shutdowns to keep everyone safe. And that's nonsense. The people kept on working anyway. I never heard the engine shut off. All right? And so the dirty little secret is like that all these people pushing these like what Joe Biden is doing. Like what Joe Biden is doing is mask virtue signaling. He's wearing a mask all the time to prove how dangerous the whole fucking world is. And it's not that fucking dangerous. Last time I wore a mask was about for 10 minutes inside my bank. And that's the only time I have worn a mask in public during this entire summer. I'm perfectly fine. I'm a little pissed off I don't have beer, but I'm perfectly fine. And so people want to say, hey, don't get on the campaign trails. Like all these people in the White House have been infected. It's like, well, that's how viruses work. You can't hide from this virus forever. It's the simple truth of viruses. They have to be assimilated into the population That's it. That's the rules. That's science. Why is this so controversial? I understand, if you're overweight like Trump, you eat too much fast food, you're probably higher at risk. You're 74, I think he is, 74 years old. Yeah, you might be more at risk. But you know what? I think he's going to pull through. Just like so many other people who have caught it have pulled through. So I don't know what all the fuss is about. All you horrible people out there saying these are fake photos. You got, this conspiracy nonsense bullshit. This, what did Tim Pool say? He said, Conspiracy News Network, CNN, the Conspiracy News Network. And you know what? There's a ton of people out there that want to say, oh, he's faking it. Oh, it's like he's got an oxygen tube coming up out of the back of his jacket. You people are fucking insane. You are insane. To quote Tim Pool again, it's like Trump comes out and says X, press says negative X. That's what they do. Anything he does is wrong in their minds. All right? Now, I had a very harsh disagreement with Ben Shapiro. How do you confuse Joe Rogan with Ben Shapiro? I don't know. I don't know how my mind works. But I listened to Ben Shapiro's show today, and I got kind of pissed because I had to strongly disagree with him on a couple of issues. All right? He's pro-mask, and I'm very, very anti-mask. It's like, no. If you're that scared, you go ahead and wear your mask, pussy. And I reserve the right to call you pussy for wearing a mask. All right? And that's just welcome to America. All right? You can't force me to wear a mask, and you can't stop me from calling you a pussy for wearing one. All right? That's America. That's what the America I believe in. All right? I also got pissed off at him because he said like a person's will to fight has no bearing on like their cancer diagnosis and shit like that. The survivability of cancer. And I respectfully disagree, Ben Shapiro.